now you're an ESG focused financial advisor, like we talked about. What I'd love to start with is a little bit of your story. What brought you into financial advice and what brought you into ESG? Did those happen at the same time? Would be great to hear.
Well, it's an interesting story that I went to a National Black MBA Association meeting that a gentleman spoke at, and I thought, man, this is really amazing. I really need to go and get an advisor for myself. Meanwhile, my wife and we were kind of recently married. I was reading up on some things and told this one advisor that was the advisor for her SEP plan that we wanted to invest in companies that would actually hire me as an MIT Sloan MBA. I had beliefs that I'd never have a problem getting hired, and yet that wasn't my experience post Sloan. And a couple of weeks later, he goes, "Hey, look, I've got this great portfolio for you. And well, and then you can give to charity. You're going to make a lot of money, and then you can give to charity later on." And I'm like, "Wow, dude, you're looking at me and you're saying that I am a charity, and that me wanting to simply invest in companies that had better diversity practices." So I felt like he didn't hear me at all. So meanwhile, we did hire the other gentleman who happened to be Black. And after a couple of meetings, he said, "I've never really had anybody take to this the way that you have. Had you ever considered getting to the industry?" So I had been working for an employer. Things didn't work out well there, and I was trying to figure out what my next move was going to be. So I said, "Oh, well, maybe my undergrad in finance and some of the classes that I had at Sloan could work well as being a financial advisor / wealth advisor." And actually, oddly, at Sloan, this is the first time I'd ever heard of what the phrase wealth management. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, good," because nobody ever explained what wealth management was. I don't know why we struggle with, we have been struggling in explaining what that is. And that kind of launched me in to the career. Started early with Ameriprise, and I was the guy that wanted to look and find the companies that were actually doing ESG investing, and kind of became Mr. ESG at the office that I was at. And people would come to me if they ever had anyone who asked them about ESG, but nobody ever cared to really understand the details. I did. And fortunately, the regional vice president from Calvert at the time took a liking to me because of my interest, and did some promotion. And I got the opportunity to be quoted in one of Ameriprise's magazines, because one of the few people, I'm like, wow, of all the people in the country, I'm relatively new to the industry, and they find me to talk about the topic.